Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the line as he does every Friday or Thursday or some day of the week on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com is on the line. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Oh, not much. How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah. How are you doing?
Hey, Mike, we're going to have some time travel this week because we're recording a majority of this week's episode on Thursday, the 20th. Coming up later on tonight, you are seeing the new Evil Dead, which we will, that review will be at the end of this interview, along with the review of Picard's season finale. Or series finale, actually. Yeah. Because I still need to watch that later on tonight. But where do you want to start this week? You want to start with some of the news, the movie trailers, the Star Wars Mandalorian ending? Where do you want to go?
How about you know what? Start with the Mandalorian ending. Let's just get the low-hanging fruit out of the way.
Let's get this piece of out of the way. Mandalorian last...
Whatever, man.
So last night, we sat down and we watched the final episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I don't want to say I've been disappointed with it, but it just hasn't been as good. It's like they sat down and they're like, we kind of got some ideas for what we want to do this season. It doesn't exactly focus on Mando. It kind of does, and it doesn't. We're going to have Baby Yoda do some cute stuff. I just got to the end and I was like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I basically heard it's basically like a backdoor pilot bonanza this season where it's like, here's all these characters and all these shows that we're thinking of putting into the Star Wars universe. And maybe we haven't announced them yet, but just look at these characters. You want to follow them in like 30 more seasons of like television. And please, we couldn't get Pedro much this season, okay? He was busy on another show. Just help us out here, please.
Listen,
do it for Pedro.
Listen, there are a lot worse shows to watch. I will put it that way. I don't outright hate it. It's just the first season of this was so good and it was so focused and it meant something and it was a great Western in space. And now I don't really know what it is. It's kind of about there's just so much crap in here that I don't know what I'm supposed to like and not like in it.
It's kind of about turning what was a standalone series that was a big success into something that connects into the overall lore and arc because we want this to keep Star Wars going for another however many years. The things that people were complaining about with Book of Boba Fett seem to be the things that they're complaining about with Mandalorian now. So I remember for a while you were saying, oh, the best episodes don't even have Boba Fett in them.
Yeah, I thought of the Star Wars stuff I put in, and I know you and I disagree on Solo. I put Boba Fett below Solo.
Yeah, we definitely disagree on Solo because Solo rules.
I thought Solo was awful.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Have more Grogu.
I don't know.
Have more Grogu.
You know what part of it is in season 3 of this, I feel like Grogu should not look like a puppet or a doll on strings when he jumps around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they were trying to play toward, again, not watched anything but the first episode of this season. I think they were trying to play towards more of the old school Star Wars nostalgia where it's like, hey, we were still doing this with physical puppets and a dream.
At least it's not creepy like Alf.
Alf creepy.
So, okay, I bring this up because I just thought of it, but a couple weeks ago, I do a feature on the show called The Weekly Dose of Pure Nostalgia, where I just play a clip from an old show or, a theme song or whatever. And I was looking, so I was looking through stuff, and I did the theme for Alf, and I'm watching it, the opening, and at the very end where they have someone dressed up in an Alf costume to, like, run into the family picture. I don't know why that was so creepy to me, but it's like,
What is this thing doing in their house?
Is that a child? Is that a tiny person? What is going on here? Anyways, Alf, everybody.
Love that show.
I remember Alf, but I remember watching Alf. I don't remember a ton about Alf.
Well, I remember a ton of it because I was very big on it as a kid. And then I remember a couple years back, there was like an outtake video that the Alf puppeteer was saying things. And
I have no doubt.
Go YouTube that if you really want to break your heart.
All right, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now. Moving over to some more movie news type stuff, and then we're going to cover a couple trailers that came out this week. Jonathan Majors, that story has continued and taken another turn earlier this week. We found out that his management company was like, yeah, see you later. We're done here.
Yeah, his management company dropped him. There's been a couple ads that he did that have dropped, that have, pulled him. There's also, he was set to star in, I forget the name of the movie, but there was a project that he was set to star in that he's now been basically taken off of, and more women have come forward with allegations of assault from relations with him.
Yeah, multiple sources are saying that victims are cooperating with the DA about talking with him.
Yeah.
So, boy.
And then while they're denying it, there have been rumors that Marvel is talking about recasting him at Kent.
Do they have to at this point?
Not a good. I would like to think so, but we're still in a world where Ezra Miller is about to have a blockbuster opening, or is about to have a DC movie open over the summer.
Going back to Jonathan Majors, it's just it's not a good look, and like we were talking about a couple weeks ago, you don't want to say yes he has done it or no he has done it or anything like that, because it is innocent until proven guilty. But there is that certain feeling of where there's smoke, there's fire, and if it's true with the number of these women coming out, there's definitely fire involved here. It seems at the moment.
It's just really sad that this man had such a promising career, and then unfortunately for him, reality got in the way. And I do hope that there is justice for the accusers, and that I just want due process, and I want people to be able to heal. And no movie is worth getting in the way of someone's closure in this sort of thing.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now as we talk about movies. Another story floating around out there. Jaime Foxx is still in the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any sort of
Holy he's 55?
Oh, yeah, he's not that old.
No, well, a 55-year-old actor is improving. I didn't know he was 50. Boy, he does not seem 55.
Dude, looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I was. Sorry for interrupting you there. Nowhere in my mind did it float around that Jaime Foxx was 55 years old.
Yeah, dude is taking care of himself. That is without question. Jaime Foxx has taken care of himself.
Wow.
And apparently, what happened was last week he was hospitalized for an undisclosed medical complication, as ET is specified. But apparently he is recovering, and he's still under professional care. They are running tests to see what exactly is the case. But this happened 8 days before his movie with Cameron Diaz was set to wrap. I think it was Back in Action.
Oh, that's right. We were talking
Back in Action, yeah.
We were talking about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it says here that one day before his hospitalization, he was photographed on set. The following day, crew were notified he'd be 2 hours late due to illness, and then shortly after, they heard that he wouldn't be coming in, and then he was hospitalized.
I don't know how well. I know Fox News carries a certain connotation, but they said they're reporting that Jaime Foxx's body double filmed with Cameron Diaz as the star recovers.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if 8 days out from finishing production, that's a hell of a time for things to happen, and of course, no one planned it. But when you've got, even when you're not filming, you're spending money on a movie. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start filming close-ups for Cameron Diaz as part of conversations, and then, when Jamie gets out of the hospital, he goes in and films his parts, and they marry the two halves together.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on line with me right now. Well, in any case, we wish Jaime Foxx a speedy recovery. 55, good Lord. Well, my heroes are growing up.
He's a fantastic interview, too. I'll tell you, he's a fantastic interview, and I've interviewed him twice in person, and both times the same thing has come up. The man thinks I look like Joaquin Phoenix.
I remember that. I remember you had a tie to him. Boy, Brad Pitt's 59, he's 55. Good Lord. Everybody's getting old.
I mean, everybody's getting older.
Wow.
That's kind of what we do.
God, you know what's crazy, though? You know how old Leonardo DiCaprio is?
25?
He's only 48.
Yeah, but the women he keeps dating are 25 and under.
He is the Matthew McConaughey.
All these movies keep getting better, and all the girls just keep getting younger.
I saw an ad for Matthew McConaughey. He's doing I don't know what it is, but I was mesmerized by him talking about it. God, what is it? What was it? It was Live Your Life or something. I've seen one YouTube ad for it, and that's all I've seen.
I don't think it's Wild Turkey because I know he's a
Art
Wild
of
Turkey
Living.
ambassador.
Art of Living. Virtual live event because it's time to stop settling and start living. It's time to become a person you are meant to be. As of Thursday at 10:25 Central AM, it's 4 days and 1 hour away. Join Matthew McConaughey and special guests live for an intimate, one-time event to create the future you can look forward to. Yes, it seems it's time to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. If you get a chance to see the commercial for it, it's awesome. It's completely mesmerizing in a Matthew McConaughey sort of way.
Oh, I can just imagine it, and this is so woo-woo. Oh, man.
At some point, he does the whistle, the thing he does.
Oh, now I want Matthew McConaughey and Gwyneth Paltrow to fight it out for who is like the big inspirational speaker, like Godzilla versus Kong style.
Oh, that would be awesome. No, sorry to completely sidetrack there, but I was listening to a thing on YouTube on the way in this morning, and that commercial came up, and it completely, usually I can't skip a commercial on YouTube fast enough, and this one, it just mesmerized me.
I mean, to be fair, if I was going to take some sort of life advice from some celebrity hawking it, I probably would go with the Matthew McConaughey thing because at least he's more grounded in his philosophies.
He's very, very hippie.
He is.
And I don't say that in a bad way, but I mean, modern hippie, it's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com.
No question.
Hey, real quick, with Matthew McConaughey in mind, did you see the thing about him and Woody Harrelson?
I was just about to mention that. I need to know if they're brothers.
Or is that
brothers?
Or is that one of those mysteries that's just better left alone?
I don't know. I mean, now that we've mentioned it, I can kind of see they get the results and they just stand over a fire. They contemplate it and then just throw it in. No one has to know about this. I totally agree. We know the truth. You don't need to know the truth.
I wish I could do that whistle.
It is family or not family. What?
I wish I could do his whistle. He does.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that very curt sort of, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now. We should probably get back to actual conversation. A couple trailers and other stories that came out this week. The big one for you probably is we got a new Godzilla Kong trailer. Yesterday, I believe that came out.
Yeah, there was a little it was a teaser because they revealed the title, and it is now called Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, I think it is. Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. And what's really interesting is the way that it's written is Godzilla X Kong. And that's something that we've seen in the anime world where titles will have that. And from my understanding, you don't pronounce the X because there's a show called Spy Family. And the way the title's written out is Spy X Family. And for the longest time, I was like, oh, Spy X Family. And then my brother brought it up to me. He's like, well, I think people just call it Spy Family. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think the X is supposed to signify a team up and some sort of bond. And that's definitely present in this one because Godzilla Kong: The New Empire has them both apparently squaring off against something more powerful than the both of them.
Sounds a lot like them taking on Mechagodzilla.
Oh, I don't think it'll be Mechagodzilla. It'll probably be a new
because that was
from the Hollow Earth or something.
No, I know it's not Mechagodzilla. I know there's another ape of some sort or monster in there. But I was making.
I know, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, you're just you don't want to believe me.
You just don't want to talk about it. You're just talking about you're giving me this is perfunctory to you. You don't care about the MonsterVerse. You don't give a shit.
Not really.
Conversation before. I'll sit here and smile while you talk about Picard, but the minute Godzilla comes up,
You know what? I think there is a Godzilla in Kong. Oh, happy April Fool's Day. It's fake. Okay. It was 2 weeks ago. I was flipping through YouTube looking at different trailers, and because I want to know who the red ape is in it. I don't know who that is.
yeah, I'm really curious to see what this new thing is as well. I mean, another ape would be kind of cool, but we'll see. I mean, movie's set to come out next March. Adam Wingert, the director of Godzilla vs. Kong, is back again, and yeah, I am excited for this.
Winger.
Yeah, if you didn't want weird, you wouldn't be going to the MonsterVerse.
No, I just was thinking of Stuart from Beavis and Butthead, the Winger shirt. Yeah. Speaking of which, I think we're getting new Beavis and Butthead here soon.
Oh, yeah, that might even be today. I would double check.
April
but it might even
20th.
be today.
Holy
On April 20th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me check Hulu here.
What?
Or wait, no, it'd be
Paramount.
CBS. Yeah. It'd be Paramount.
Yeah, CBS All Access. That still exists.
Paramount. Come on, open up.
Come
Beavis and Butthead, new season right there. Kaboom.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
There's 2 episodes too.
Oh, so you might be able to watch. Well, both of us might be able to watch that beforehand, because I don't think I need to watch season 1 to really follow
Yes, you do.
season 2 of Beavis and Butthead.
It's so good though.
What?
It's so season 1 of it.
Oh no, I definitely need to watch it because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now as we are a complete mess this week, but in a best kind of way. We're still going to get to the Evil Dead stuff here in a few minutes. Just a couple notes real quick. We got another Guardians trailer. You haven't seen it, but it looks kind of like every other Guardians trailer. We got some news, some actual Star Trek news. Section 31, not going to be a TV series anymore. It's going to be a movie now on Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount Plus exclusive. Of course, Michelle Yeoh is coming back.
Do you think it was just like she hit big, so it's like we can get you back for a movie but not a TV series now? Or do you think they hit a point where they're like, you know what, we're not sure this TV series is going to work. Let's just do a quick movie?
It might honestly be a little bit of both. Like, this has been in development for a while, and maybe they thought that the best way to go forward was, okay, Michelle Yeoh just won the Oscar. She's about to become even more in demand.
Yeah.
And her rates are probably going to go up because she's an Oscar winner now, and this is her resurgence. Or not so much. Well, it might be a resurgence, but it might be her busy season. Let's say they might have still had some sort of obligation, and it's like, okay, if we still have her on contract, let's do this because obviously now's the time to do it. Otherwise, who knows? And yeah, to your point, they may not be able to get her to commit to a TV show now because her schedule might get too busy. And again, she might just be too expensive for them. That's the perks of the market economy. When you start winning awards and like busting down doors, you get to cash in. Anyways,
so that's kind of your Star Trek news. We'll get to some more of that here in a few minutes as we do want to jump into Picard. They had their series finale of the Picard series is coming out today. I have yet to watch it, and Mike is 3 seasons behind. So,
although I did see a little clip from it that has an interesting cameo / Easter egg.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. I have some thoughts on it, and like I was telling you beforehand, and we don't have to dive too far into it. From what I've kind of seen, and spoiler wise, like I'm wondering if it's like one of those too happy of an ending type scenarios.
Yeah, and then you had mentioned a post-credit sequence that kind of goes back on something that the series did. The thing I saw was the Easter egg was the current president of the Federation.
Oh, I did not see that.
I think it's at the very beginning of the episode. I know we're not going deep on Picard, but do you want to know who it is?
Spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't watched it yet, but yeah, I do.
It's Chekhov's son.
Oh, really?
Chekhov's son is voiced again by, it sounds like Walter Koenig, not only does the voice, but the character's name is Anton Chekhov.
Okay.
And that just feels like a huge tribute to Anton Yelchin.
Okay. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, but he pops in for an audio cameo setting up the current situation at the beginning of the Picard series finale, which we will be talking about after the jump.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. You know who, before, when you were saying it, I thought it was going to be, that was going to be how they shoehorn Janeway into it.
I want Janeway to come back.
Well, I don't think she is. But, well, she is back kind of on Prodigy, but that's a story for another time.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't even have to be, like, in Picard. I would just like them to come back to, I think Mick, our Trek guy at Cinemablend, may have even pitched something that they could maybe do Voyager movies, or someone mentioned a possibility about them doing Voyager movies. And before we go, Mick got a pretty big retweet for one of his interviews recently because he got to talk to Jerry Ryan, and she retweeted him.
Nice.
And that's pretty awesome.
She is legitimately one of my favorite parts of the Picard, not just this season of Picard, but Picard in general. I
was really glad, like not even seeing the series, I was just really glad that Jerry Ryan was brought back and it wasn't just business as usual. Hey, Seven's hot, but she's deep, but she's hot.
Yeah.
It's like, no, she's a fully fledged character this time. It's like, wow, we learned our lessons.
And you know what? I think there's been a lot of, over the whole series, 3 seasons Picard, there's been a lot of like redemptions and people getting better endings to their stories, you know, than what we got in movies or finales of anyways. We'll get to that here in a second. We're going to do a time jump here. We'll be back here in a few seconds with reviews of the new Evil Dead movie and the series finale of Picard.
Engage.
Bum, bum, bum. After a little bit of time travel, we are back. It is Friday morning, and ladies and gentlemen, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com is on the line with me right now as we are both drinking coffee, possibly having a lot of cocaine, and getting ready to talk about movies.
Those allegations were never proven, and my lawyers will be contacting you by the end of the day.
I've never tried cocaine.
Me neither, but the thing is, from what I understand, since I'm an ADHD kid, I don't know what it would do to me because the medicines that they put you on for ADHD are like legal speed anyway.
Yeah.
So like, I really just don't know.
You might jump to warp.
Really oh, yeah. I feel sorry for anybody if that happens. Because that's just like, good luck trying to catch up with me.
Anyways. We're here to talk about movies and stuff. You went and saw the new Evil Dead last night. What'd we think?
It's a blast, man. Okay, so a little bit of background. This was originally going to be an HBO Max original. This was originally going to be just sent to streaming, and that was going to be the end of the story. Allegedly, what happened was the test screenings were so good that they decided, this was before David Zaslav came in and was like, we're not going to do streaming originals anymore, as much anymore. This was apparently shifted to theatrical because the test test screenings were so good. It was like, we'd be insane not to.
Okay.
And they would have been insane to just send this to streaming because it is Evil Dead through and through. Oh man. The one thing I will say is I kind of wish it went a little harder with some of its grotesqueries because there's one scene that I was looking forward to and it was like, yeah, it's pretty brutal, but it could have been more, but maybe that's just me being a brat, but I loved it.
Was that the cheese grater thing?
Yeah.
Well, you were all about that cheese grater.
Well, because that's like a weapon I never thought of before. It's like,
really?
Damn, man, a cheese grater. Yeah, like I look at a cheese grater, I'm thinking Parmesan. I'm not thinking human flesh. Call me crazy.
I used to and still do for people I really enjoy, but I will buy them a cheese. That's my default wedding gift to people. And we used to joke about it that you look at, like, I'd get this really cool 5-sided, cheese grater that worked awesome. And I'm like, yeah, you can kill a man with that.
I mean, now I could sort of see like a fast-paced, like you get a movie like The Raid or something, like fast-paced action martial arts stuff, and you get someone grabbing a cheese grater and just swiping at their enemy.
See,
just like little cuts here and there.
I always thought it would be cool to wear it as like a bracer on your forearm.
Huh.
And use it as a weapon like that, and you could block with it because it is, it is metal. It's not thick metal, but
That would be pretty damn cool. Yeah, my default wedding gift is a popcorn maker.
Is it really?
Yeah, because I figure when a couple gets married, you might not be going out to the movies as much. You might be watching movies at home.
Duh.
And I want people to have popcorn for that. I love my popcorn.
You know what I think would be an underrated gift?
What?
Here's a year's subscription to such and such movie service.
Yeah, no, that would be a great thing to go with a popcorn maker. Like you give them like a year of Netflix or something.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, no, that really would be.
That's like the perfect gift right now.
But you still wouldn't be able to see Evil Dead Rise because that's currently in theaters right now.
Yeah. Wow, way to pull us back to the topic.
Evil Dead Rise, the perfect wedding gift. No, you know what? I know why they didn't do it, but I wish they would have waited until Mother's Day to release this. Because there really is like not just the whole thing of the mom being possessed, but there's this whole thing about family trauma and the relationships between sisters, and there's mothers and daughters are mentioned within the film. But I know they're not doing it because that's like week 2 of Guardians, and it probably would still be kind of hard to pull off a victory. There's like not much in theaters this week, so I see why they did it, but I just kind of wish they would have done like a Mother's Day release.
I gotcha. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com. Evil Dead Rise is out now. Do you want to do Beavis and Butthead or Picard first?
Just one last thing I want to mention. Look up the video from the Evil Dead press screenings where I think it was in Los Angeles. They had someone read the Latin, and then they had actors in the audience like turning into Deadites.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm glad you brought that up.
I'll send that video to you later. It's really cool. Like, I saw it on Instagram. No, I saw it on Twitter. And it was like, oh, every screening of this movie should start like this.
Oh, what if someone just did it as like a flash mob?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, it's like the entire...
Like, this guy's up at not the whole thing. Oh, no, not the whole theater. No, it was just like several people mixed about the theater.
I'm saying you have 2 people that are like legitimately customers of a movie, and then the rest of the theater is a flash mob that does that in a zombie outbreak movie, or like an Evil Dead.
Oh man!
And they like start tearing each other apart and stuff. How cool would that be?
Bricks. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Do that. Someone do that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now. Let's get Beavis and Butthead out of the way, because I want to wrap up with Picard.
I was just about to say, let's do Beavis and Butthead, because Picard is like, that's the center.
So Beavis and Butthead, new season premiered last night with 2 episodes, which means, 4, actually, because it's 2 per whatever. It was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have as many, like, laugh out loud moments as I did with the first season to this point, but I will say one of my favorite, like, when they're watching a YouTube video came up, and Butthead had one of the greatest lines ever right out of the gate. It was a video about one of those guys on YouTube that like takes frisbees and balls and like makes trick shots with them.
Yeah.
And as soon as it starts, he goes, "Well, proof you're homeschooled." Or it was something like that. I'm like, holy shit.
That's just the rules that apply to a fist fight also apply to comedy. You need to get that first punch in quickly, and then the audience is yours the rest of the time.
It was probably one of the funniest ones I've ever seen, because they keep going against this kid, and it is so funny. But
nothing will beat the BTS bit. But that sounds wonderful.
Well, there was another one where they're talking about peeing in the shower. And
oh, boy.
And Beavis starts talking about, yeah, you pee and poop in the shower. And Butthead looks at him with wide eyes. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, you poop in the shower, and then you just take your foot and cram it down the bowl.
Oh, no.
And then you wash your foot off in the toilet.
Oh, good God.
Oh, it was very well done and very funny. But God, that
welcome back, boys.
Yeah, it really was. It was some good episodes. I really enjoyed it. So Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line. You'll have to catch up, okay? Please watch Beavis and Butthead.
Yes.
Moving over to the world of Picard, the series finale was last night on Paramount Plus. And listen, I'm going to come out of the gates and say it like this. There was a lot wrong with it. I loved every minute of it.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot wrong with it. Especially the part where... go ahead.
Go on.
Oh, I was
just going. You're about to express.
One of my buddies wrote me during the day, and he goes, "Have you watched it yet?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "I want to know what you know about. Think of a certain scene." I'm like, "Okay." So he goes, "You'll know it when you see it," and I did. You remember the end of Return of the Jedi where they're flying through the Death Star?
Yeah.
They basically lifted that and are flying the Galaxy-class Enterprise at high speeds through the inside of a Borg cube. To the very center of it, by the way.
So Paramount needs to reopen Star Trek The Experience, and this needs to be a ride.
Oh, it would be amazing. It was one of those things where it's, you know how I've talked about they've done a really good job of doing like if they change something or grow something or how they present a character, it's usually within the realm of that universe. They've done a really good job of that this year.
Yeah.
They took that book and threw it out the window when it came to the Enterprise D because all of a sudden it goes from the mom van to a sports car and like the best starship in the universe.
Huh.
And my first thought, it made the fight at the end of Generations against the one bird of prey. It makes me hate that scene even more now.
Oh,
because the Enterprise D had no problem with the biggest Borg cube ever created.
I still, the board did not have their shield prefixes and all their other information. So I mean, maybe I just need to rewatch it.
Listen, like I said, there's a lot. There was that. There was. I'm still kind of upset about the Laris thing or Laris. Picard's Romulan girlfriend, how they just kind of forgot about her. Like, she just left at the beginning. Yeah. She's like, all right, go do your thing. And then that's the last you heard. I really liked her in the series. I liked her infinitely more than as a romance with Picard than I ever did Crusher. I was never a Crusher fan.
I knew of it. I'm not as, in deep in the pain as you to sort of really evaluate, but it is kind of cruel where it's just like, oh, we introduced this brand new character to give us some what we got the crew back. Okay, cut her.
I missed her at the end. Like I would have liked to seen her at some point seeing the Enterprise or getting back with Picard or just something. I wanted more of her in it. There are going to be some other spoilers coming. I probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this.
It's okay.
Yeah, all right. One of the things they do is one of my other issues, they introduced the new Enterprise in this. They renamed the Titan, the hero ship from this, and I don't know how crazy I am about that.
Yeah, because you had a cool name like the Titan. No expectations, doesn't need to stand up to the legacy, and then of course now you're calling it the Enterprise
G.
I don't know.
It's the Enterprise G. Yeah. Because the F showed up in this one, and my son saw it, and he goes, "Why is it so fat?" It's the Odyssey class.
Your son is fat-shaming spaceships.
I thought the same thing. I hate the Odyssey class. I think it's ugly and dumb looking.
It's got a funny eye. Its kids are toes. It's a bad dancer.
Breath smells, but no, like I said, there was a lot wrong with it, and it was also one of those things where it was almost too happy of an ending.
That's exactly what you were worried about.
But like I said, after everything kind of wraps up, they say farewell to these characters in such a great way.
And I was reading, I sent you this link too. They let them improv for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I think on that last scene.
Yeah, they're all having a drink at the bar, and they do a final toast, and then Picard pulls out a deck of cards, so they all start playing poker again, like at the end of All Good Things. And it was just really, it was just really funny. Worf has a great line. He goes, "I fold, okay?" But it was just, you could tell how much these people like each other and like being around each other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you even see that in all the con appearances that they do together.
Also, going back to the very beginning of it, you brought on the Anton Chekhov thing, the president of the Federation. That was great to begin with. But you know how they started it?
How?
You remember when they would do the original episodes and they would do like the opening thing and then it would cut to the intro where it shows the ship and it would be like space, the final frontier, and they'd do the they'd fly through the nebula at first, or they would show the nebula.
Yeah.
They recreated that, and then the Enterprise, and then they flash, and there's the Enterprise.
Oh, so they were really going all in on the member berries this time.
They did that, and they did the thing I was really hoping they would do, which they did. They did was at the beginning of all the Star Trek shows, they take the ship, whatever the hero ship is of the series, and it flies around and does the Star Trek logo, the Delta, and then it has flashes Star Trek or whatever. Well, the ship they used was the Enterprise D in it, and I was hoping they were going to do that since it was back.
Nice.
Yeah, so
very good touches.
Yeah, it was. Listen, it was a love letter to fans, and they kind of threw some stuff out the window, and it was. It was. What's the plot device when like something just comes out of the sky and picks and saves the day?
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did to get off the Borg cube, and it was so well done. It really was. They had this beautiful shot. They're all looking up, and all of a sudden the Enterprise just dips down and is hovering overhead. And I don't know.
They were really. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't know if I was just imagining it, but. Because the engine section, the drive section that they replaced the old one with, I don't know if it's real or if it just was because it was, but it looked like that part of the ship was a slightly different color than the saucer section, and you could really see it from the bottom looking up.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially when you're kit bashing a ship like that.
So, what were you going to say?
I think it was an ill-conceived move to not at least put the finale in IMAX for a week.
Yeah.
Because they had like that the whole event last night where they did like the final episode of Picard in IMAX.
Yeah.
With like a Q&A afterwards.
I was just thinking about, what would be kind of cool? The scene of them flying through the cube. I was just thinking about that, what that would be like in 3D.
Oh, I'm sure this thing has 3D written all over it.
It would be pretty amazing. So, anyways, like I said, it's a love letter to Generations fans. It wasn't perfect. It didn't need to be. I got the feel goods, and they set up possible more Star Trek after this. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Very nice.
Thanks for letting me bore you with Picard, since I wouldn't let you bore me with Godzilla.
I'm not bored with Picard. I'm glad that it sounds like it's a very complicated ending, but I'm glad you got what you needed.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So good times. All right, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joins me every week on the show to talk about movies and TV and all that other stuff. We'll put all his info at the bottom of the page. Mike, you have yourself a great weekend.
Second star to the left and straight on till morning.